right, hello and welcome to the Sports Stable. Joaquin Rivera alongside Jenny Kinney here for more Rough Rider action. We're back after the winter break. Well, we were on a winter break. The Rough Riders were not on a winter break. Actually, they did compete in a tournament out in Vegas and also played these same Colorado Eagles. Guess who? That's who they are playing today again. But they did play the Colorado Eagles back on January 6th. That was a 5-3 game. Nikita does what Nikita does.
He was the game.
Scored goals 38, 39, and 40, so hit a plateau so far on this season, doing what he does for this team consistently. Yet it didn't, again, end in a victory. But we have seen this team against a team like the Eagles try different approaches, try different things. They've gotten closer at times.
They definitely can hold their own. It's
not where the difference appeared earlier in the season. We're hoping maybe they take another step forward today.
Yeah, and in the last game, like we were saying, the Superior Rough Riders were actually ahead 3-0 off of Nikita Shibarov's hat trick.
All three of his goals were in the first period.
Yeah, and then the Eagles came back and scored 5 unanswered goals, unfortunately. But there were so many penalties in that game. There was 29 penalty minutes for the Rough Riders, so that could have been a factor.
Absolutely. So we talk about how we feel the Rough Riders do when they're on 5-on-5, when they're still even strength. So we'd like to see, even if they can take advantage at times on power plays, I think this team is better off just staying out of the box completely. And we'll see how that goes today, again, against a very powerful Colorado Eagles team who currently have it now back in their own zone as Petroto rings this one around the boards, and they go D to D. First line out there for the Rough Riders, Eric Back with Nikita Shibarov. And just changing now was Dylan Steele, but that will be the top line today. And in goal, still Marshall Murphy. As this puck goes now deep into the zone, Bosnayev, the defenseman, chasing it down. But it gets chipped back behind the boards as around comes Thor Wyrock. Bosnayev with the check back there. Wyrock now coming in on Richardson. He lays his check on him. Does get out of the zone, though, as Albert will chip it back in, cross on the other side as Hines goes to collect. Hines back behind, sends one deep, and it's tipped into the zone by Shabbat. And now Alexander Holt picks it up for the Rough Riders and drops it back to Albert. Albert with a slow rolling pass to Bosnayev, chips it back through the middle. Couldn't be collected upon there by Toutfest. So now Albert tries it again, and now he's got it here. Holt, risky pass there, lucky to get through. And now a nice bounce falls to Bishop, trying to finesse that pass into Cale Woodley, but it couldn't get through. And now back at center ice it goes. Mastrandrea sends it in deep, and he'll go and chase. As Alexander Holt picks it up again for the Rough Riders. Off the boards, Bishop off the boards again, but can't get it out, but now they eventually force it out. They go D to D again here. Albert through the middle of the ice to Bishop. Bishop walks in, curls back around, and now sends it in. Some of those plays, you just got to send it in deep. But at least both teams got for a change as this one now comes in. Hildebrand chasing it. He's got Bushman protecting. Fitzgerald in there as well, helping dig it out. Roach trying to take it from him. Fitzgerald covering him. Sorella digging it out for the Eagles. Still fighting in that corner. Now up on the half wall. Sorella drops it back for Kalf. Kalf now cutting down into the zone of the Rough Riders. A shot almost there for Hildebrand, but knocked away by Fitzgerald. Hines takes one. That one somehow gets through, but Marshall Murphy covers up.
You know, one difference between these two teams, aside from the speed, of course, is the line depth. The Colorado Eagles Junior Eagles have such a depth. You know, everybody's contributing to scoring, whereas the Rough Riders are a few scorers that are always participating, on the scoring and getting things open. But hopefully the Rough Riders can change that up just a little bit and get some more guys in the game.
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 players with at least 30 points on the Eagles. None of them have more than, I believe, 39, whereas Nikita Shibarov on his own has 69. But again, that depth can absolutely help you win games as Lish takes a shot that's blocked away by Sakalo, and he goes and finishes his check as well. Still digging in the corner. Lish trying to get one through. So good job defensively to keep them away from the middle of the ice. Tipped again there, again by Sakalo, as Richardson, though, making his way into the zone. Sakalo backhands this one, can't get it by Richardson. And now Back will try to chip it out, and DeRosier will get it out. Richardson back up to Kirkbride. Not sure he got a stick on that, but it gets in the zone. They're going to say he tipped it as Gutterman rings it back around. Richardson to get there first. in the corner. This pass gets through, and now Shibarov potentially, if he sees his man, steal, trying to get up there. LaJoie's going to get there first and send it into the stands. That right over his own bench. But an opportunity almost there for a 2-on-1 potentially, but Shibarov just kind of had to poke that one through, and then it was a race LaJoie was able to win.
Right, and LaJoie, who the Rough Riders have seen numerous times, is definitely a force to be reckoned with. He's third in the league right now and wins, and he's doing a spectacular job for the Colorado Junior Eagles.
Yeah, this has been a great team, and I watched him a little bit in the warm-up, and you can tell just a very confident goaltender. It's not like he's doing anything spectacular as far as going all over and making these special saves, but that often shows you a goaltender that is better at his positioning doesn't need to make all kinds of saves because he's always in the right place. Now a chance here. McMahon couldn't get a stick on that pass right in the slot. Now Bosnayev ahead for Thor. Nice pass into Albert, who's now walking into the zone. His shot, though, is blocked by Richardson in the corner. Albert then takes a hit, but the Rough Riders continue on with the puck, trying to get a shot there. LaJoie made a save as Albert kicks it up to the point. Bosnayev rips one. It's deflected and goes wide. As Richardson will pick it up, he gets tripped by Toutfest, and the Rough Riders will be heading to the penalty box.
Up until that penalty there, that was some really good puck awareness by the Rough Riders to just, keep in the zone. They even got it a little bit under control, which has sometimes been an issue for them. Now, as we said earlier, they need to stay out of the box. Hopefully, they can. Their penalty kill has been pretty okay.
Their penalty kill hasn't been bad, but the problem with this is even if they kill it, which will help the momentum, this will, at least for the next 2 minutes, be a time where they're not getting much offensive chances and possibly building more momentum for the Eagles.
Right.
But, again, if the Rough Riders can clear this off for the next 2 minutes, could be a good jump for the rest of the period. But now Calf, his shot, saved by Murphy. And a nice job there by Bushman to get it out and send it all the way down on his backhand, where LaJoie will stop it and slow it down for Richardson. The Rough Riders get a quick change. Looks like Bishop is up with Shibarov in the forward spots here on the PK. Calf comes behind the net. He's met by Velikopolsky. Shibarov's going to pick this puck up, trying to get away from pressure, poking it away from a few. Bushman couldn't clear that one. But so far, the Rough Riders still been able to keep him to the outside. We haven't seen the Eagles break in just yet. Still holding on to it here. Mastrandrea Ober. Now a pass for Dahl back in the center. Doesn't get there. It's Shibarov all over it. Still working from Calf, and he does at least get it out of the zone. Richardson curling back in. Now going wide. Back behind the net. Nice job there with the poke check by Bushman. Goes back through the middle and sends it now out to Shibarov, who's escaping. Throws it up to Bishop. As Shibarov now goes for a change, Bishop will likely do the same, but he's going to hold on and at least pressure him out one way for now. Mastrandrea enters the zone. He's got Gutterman on him. Tried to make a play there. Now sends it across. This one will stay in the zone. Gutterman gets hit there by Mastrandrea. He's now still fighting with it, but Sakalo's going to come out with it, and he's also going to get a clear. So just 30 seconds remaining in the PK. Rough Riders have done a great job here for the first minute and a half. Now down back behind. Hines rings it over to Petroto, but it's intercepted, but now that pass also taken. And here comes Hildebrand. Bosnayev trying to affect him. Bosnayev gets the block. So they've got multiple forwards playing multiple defensemen playing forward positions on this PK as the final seconds are ticking off here. Chance in front. Sorella got a backhand. Another one goes across the crease, but never gets through Murphy, who now gets a backhand and sends that one out. Beautifully done, and the Rough Riders are back to even strength.
They did a really good job of time management on that penalty kill, aside from that last, 10 seconds or so when the Colorado Junior Eagles were flurrying around the net and had some shots on it. The Superior Rough Riders did a really good job of some time management of that penalty kill and keeping the puck in the other zone.
So this one almost gets out. Yoho's able to stop it, and now Albert will get a second chance to clear. Tried to get this one up to Steele, never saw the pass, and Roach backhands it in. Holt off the boards and out. Richardson now goes D to D. His pass is deflected by Shibarov, but still finds Yoho. So they send it all the way back down, and they will call icing here. So good job again by the Rough Riders. They've killed the penalty. No harm, no foul. Now once again trying to get something going offensively here in this first period.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the Colorado Junior Eagles' depth. They're also just very fast. But the Rough Riders seem to be holding it up so far in this period against them, which is a good thing because we've seen them have some really horrible games against the Colorado Junior Eagles. But I just feel like every game they play them, they're figuring them out a little bit.
And it's not even that the entire games against this team are awful, but they'll have a bad period where they can't get the game back. Maybe 1 second period here where 4 goals are given up, and just like that, they're out of the game. But that just shows you more of the lethal potency of a team like the Eagles. But the Rough Riders have to be aware of that now at this point in the season. So now this comes back on goal. Now behind the net, Richardson holds on to it. She's waiting to start the breakout, now enters. He's going to wheel it out himself. Picking up speed now, passing the red line and coming into the Rough Rider territory. Behind the net he goes, throws it back in front, and they'll just keep it in the zone. Shot taken there, goes wide, and comes all the way back around. Shabbat will go to pick it up for the Eagles, back in his own zone now behind his own net. Carl Drew pressuring him out to one side, now cutting back in the middle is Shabbat. Right through, but a lot of black jerseys there, and Bishop disrupts and takes the puck away. Here's Valikopolsky curling back behind the net, looking for a safe pass and rings it back behind for Bishop. Bishop now to Valikopolsky. Gets it up to Gutterman, who backhands it through to Cale Woodley. They are offsides on this play. Woodley just over as he dumped it back in, so this whistle will set us up right outside of Eagle territory.
We were talking about that showcase in Vegas, and the Rough Riders didn't do a horrible job. There were 3 games. They won 1 out of 2, but they seem to be pretty close games. I'm sure that they took home some skill.
Yeah, I believe the last game there was a 1-0 game against a team from Ontario. But either way, a nice tournament at least. It wasn't about getting victory so much as remaining to keep playing over that break. As Mastrandrea takes a shot saved by Murphy.
Yeah, keeping active, keeping up their skill.
So now Gutterman takes a shot there from Dahl. As the Eagles trying to amp things up. Sakalo almost got that out of the zone, but not completely. Tautfest gets the block, but it stays in. Dahl winds and fires, but that one blocked again by Sakalo, who now leaves the zone with the puck. Goes in 1-on-3, sends it in deep, and lays a check. Now there's 2 Colorado Eagles going after Sakalo for a completely legal check. And we'll see what happens here. He more was defending himself as he was just simply trying to dump the puck in the zone. And it looked like Will Campbell came out with the initial hit, but for some reason, it looked like Dahl went in there to throw a check in as well, and he's going to the box for 2. My guess is roughing.
Right. So now the Rough Riders are on the power play, and hopefully they can, use this momentum of this power play to get a goal and get an early lead.
Sakala with a bit of a high hit there on the falling Campbell. But for some reason there, Dahl felt they need to come in and defend him as well, and he's in the box. And the Rough Riders now with their opportunity on the power play. They have to now get started back in their own zone after it's been cleared. But now here comes Bushman with a head of speed. Gets it up to Andrew Albert. He's got an opportunity in front. Bushman. That puck was a little difficult for him to handle, but now in front again, a chance. Steele couldn't get this one cleanly as it's knocked back behind. Now back in front, up top. Bushman across for Sheberoff, now to Wyrock. He fires off the pipe. Sheberoff again, back for Wyrock. Now in the middle, here's Steele. His shot right in the chest of Braden LaJoy. He's a good goaltender, but you got to try and pick a corner on him.
Yeah, you gotta keep shooting. One will eventually go in. What we always say about ugly goals and rebounds. The Rough Riders did a pretty good job, though, of picking their shots. I
think most impressively there was they were making some great passes, trying to open up some clean looks, and they got them right in the slot.
It really was, and the Rough Riders have had problems with passing in the past. You're right. That was a great example of some passing skills that maybe they've been working on over their little break there.
We'll see if they can get something going here on the rest of this power play, as Hines has a chance to clear, and he's going to be able to do so. But Murphy's going to slow this one. Oh, no, he's going to allow it to go because Hildebrand is coming all the way down on the forecheck. Still holding him off, though, is Gutterman. And Hildebrand actually lost his stick on the play as Roach takes out his man as well. Now entering the zone is Blake Gutterman, curling around one but losing the puck. And now once again it's cleared by Hines. It's going to come all the way back down to Murphy. 47 seconds left on this power play, and the Rough Riders again turn over the puck. Kauth sends it in deep. Rings around. Eric Back's going to get there first, but Mastrandrea is coming to join him. Nice play there by Back, but still can't handle it well as he's knocked to the ground. Sakalo up for Bishop. Bishop immediately pressured, gets it back to Sakalo, and they're going to go back and forth, but Richardson knocks it out of the air. Nice job there, though, by Bishop to not give up on the play. This one will be cleared all the way down by Richardson. Murphy's just going to slow this one down with only 13 seconds left. They got one last attempt on the rush here as Bushman gives it up to Fitzgerald, who curls back, so looks like no more shots will come on this power play as the Eagles take care of that one pretty cleanly. 9 minutes left here in the first period, still a 0-0 game. Neither team got anything going on their power plays. But the Rough Riders spent most of their time going and collecting it back from behind their own net. Mitchell in the corner, sends it back in from Mastrandrea. He can't handle that one. It was waist high anyway. He's now cutting right through in front of his own net is Bushman, who gets it all the way up to Woodley. Woodley backhand tips it into the zone. Protects the puck away from Petroto, who now kicks it over to Dahl. Out of the box now is Dahl as he gets it over to Richardson. Richardson chips it forward. It's kicked ahead by Mitchell. And Valakopolsky goes D-to-D here with Bushman. So you can see that the Eagles look like they have upped the tempo here a little bit, and the Rough Riders trying to match. It's dumped in there by Quinn. Valakopolsky, D-to-D behind the net. Steele does not get there first, and Quinn now fighting off a pair. Bushman leaves the zone with the puck and now backhands it cross ice. Dylan Steele will remain in the zone while the rest of the group changes. He's going to keep the Eagles group honest back there. Wyrock does a nice job to chip that one back in the zone off his foot. As they continue to pressure, Wyrock went for that pass from Sheberoff, but it got knocked out of the air, and that'll be picked up here by Hines. And down goes Quinn. Nice hit there by Albert. Avery Albert gets that pass to Holt, who now backhands this one over to the boards, but no one's over there. As the Eagles continue to hold on to it here. Campbell got it down low, now on the half ball. Still trying to dig it out of the corner here. 3 players from each team still digging, trying to get it to move here, and Bosnayev at least gets it out of that spot. And now Albert will try to send it through the middle. He had Sheberoff. He never got a stick on it, but at least he beats out the icing as they continue the forecheck here. Wyrock now going in for the kill, gets a nice hit there, and Bosnayev steps in, fakes the shot, holds on to it, gets it in front, a couple of rebounds. Not sure it ever actually made its way to LaJoy. Sheberoff not happy. It looks like he went down somewhere away from the puck. As Yoho leaves his zone and gets it off the glass and in to the Rough Rider zone. Sakalo off that stick that's still been left there for about 2 minutes now. As Kauth enters the zone. Gutterman does a nice job to get it away from him, but they don't clear the zone. Blocked there by Drew brilliantly.
Good job.
As he continues to try and get it away from Petroto, but the Eagles still have the puck. Trying to dig it out of the corner. Woodley going to come out with it. Curls around back into Petroto as they continue to dig. Gutterman trying to kick it away, but Petroto has the puck. Still holding on to it as Drew sends him to the ground. Kauth now standing over him, just bodies everywhere here. Woodley trying to get a stick on it, but backhanded back in by Kauth. Sakalo ringing it around, hits that stick that's still on the ground. But they do eventually get out of the zone and clear. They're waiting as it slowly goes back, but not quickly enough for it to be icing as the ref calls it off here. Here's Kauth through the middle of the ice. Eventually loses it. As Bushman off the boards and out, and a chance here for Eric Back if he can get there quickly. Drops it off for Dylan Steele. Back in front, that shot, a rebound attempt there for Sheberoff. Didn't get it cleanly. So now it comes back all the way out, and Valikopolsky will have to regroup. Back around the boards. Bushman does a nice job there. Back picks it up now, gets it across for Sheberoff. Sheberoff coming in on Hines. Driving in is Sheberoff behind the net. Chance in front, that one never made it. Over to Dylan Steele. Here's McMahon. Cutting through the middle of the ice as gear goes everywhere, and this one's going to be held onto by Murphy. Eric Back lost his stick and his glove.
Right.
Trying to poke that one away from McMahon. Probably a situation where you want to lay that shoulder in there instead of just a stick.
Right. He got hit, kind of spun him around, and his stick and his glove went flying. Speaking of sticks, they finally got that errant stick off the ice there that was in the corner. I think it was a Colorado Junior Eagles
Affected 3
stick.
breakouts.
It totally did. It was absolutely in the way for a good, 5 minutes?
Generally, the linesman will pick up an errant stick when having the opportunity, but I guess they
There
didn't
wasn't
feel
one.
there was one. Mastrandrea looks like he's checking his face. Not sure if he was hit up high. It looks like he was, as he goes back to the bench. And he now actually stays out and tried to backhand it before he goes back now and goes for a change. Richardson with it behind the net. Gets it over to Dahl. Dahl back to Richardson, but he can't initially handle it, and Bosnav has a chance to go meet him. Becomes a 50-50 play on the boards. They're digging away. Richardson gets back to it, though. And now Gamrat will get it out of the zone. Stripped back there by Toutfest, but miscommunication leads to a chance here, but Mitchell mishandles the puck. But the Eagles still have it, and now they're going back to the boxes. Maybe we'll have an even here, but it's hard to say as 3 players get hit from behind.
Yeah, Avery Albert took exception to that check.
So Holt looks like he was going to the box originally. He hit Mitchell from behind, and then Roach hit Holt from behind,
Right.
and then Albert hit Roach from behind. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 Rough Riders in the box after this, but Alexander Holt got the initial penalty. We saw the ref's hand go up, and then all the other checks came afterwards. Albert is going. So if Albert's going, I have to assume Holt's going because that looked like the initial penalty, but we'll see what the referee remembered from the play and what they call here.
Yeah, and what I was saying about the last game when the Rough Riders had so many penalty minutes, Avery Albert had 4 penalties for 16 minutes. So he doesn't get along well with the Junior Eagles, for sure. Or he takes offense to some of those hits.
He's a guy who will not hesitate to defend his teammates.
Which is good.
But there's also times where you need a little restraint. And
True.
he does have that C on his jersey. And there's a lot of reasons why he does. And I think a lot of it has to do with his, not thinking to defend a teammate in a lot of ways. But sometimes you got to realize the position. Although,
right.
Again, Holt, I thought, got the initial penalty. I watched the hit that Holt laid and then watched the referee put his hand up, but Holt's not in the box. So at the very least, it looks like we're even up on a situation that maybe should have had the Rough Riders short-handed.
I think it's Roach in the box.
And it looks like we're 4-on-4. Yeah, Roach got the secondary hit there on Holt. I know my eyes aren't seeing things. Holt, when he had the initial check there, the referee's hand did go up, but he is not in the box. So either way, the Rough Riders benefit from this play, as it could have been worse, but it looks like we're going to be even at 4-on-4.
And there is some discussion still happening over there.
It looks like all the penalties have been decided, though.
Okay.
And I think they're worrying on trying to get all of them up on the board there. But interesting how that comes down, but in this situation, no harm, no foul for Avery Albert, so to speak, because the Rough Riders aren't shorthanded. They're still even. Now behind the net, here's Hildebrand. Sorella curls back. One of the top goal scorers on this team. Now Hildebrand. Off the boards, Richardson gets a shot with a half clapper. Never made it to the net. As Wyrock now gets it to Sakalo, who moves it up to Sheberoff. Sheberoff with a chance to go one-on-one with Richardson before any help comes. Gets around him, and a chance there for Sakalo. As that one just bounces off the stick, and Gutterman never got a clean shot on that one. But now coming in all by himself is Kauf. Wyrock, though, keeps him to the outside. Nice job there by the forward in a defensive position. As Shibaroff leaves this one for Sakalo. They'll start the breakout. Sakalo, great job to protect the puck as he takes a hit there from Dahl. Wyrock now 2-on-1 with Shibaroff. While they have time, a shot taken there. Wyrock saved there by LaJoy. Valikopolsky back in front. Shibaroff curls away, takes a shot. This one low, trying to find it. Wyrock digging away for the rebound. Never got it as Dahl is able to get this one off the glass, but still not out of the zone. So the Rough Riders still trying to implement their game plan here. But Dahl dumps it all the way back down on Murphy. Not out of the zone here, Petrodo, but couldn't handle the puck. And now a 2-on-1 developing here. Toutfest with steal. Trying to get it back across. McMahon with a great defensive play, but a shot there from Valikopolsky is saved by LaJoy.
And LaJoy is just brilliant down there. That last series, he was all over the place and had to be up and down very quickly. But we know this about him. He's an amazing goaltender, and he does his team a great justice, keeping them in games sometimes. The
Rough Riders know they have their hands full with LaJoy and the rest of this Eagles team, but so far with 1:53 left in the first period, 4-on-4, 21 seconds left on those coincidentals, as apparently is what we ended up getting. Still no score, so the Rough Riders still very much in this game, obviously.
Definitely. They're definitely holding their own, like we've said.
Both teams have kind of had their little moments here in this period.
Yeah, both teams did a really good job on their penalty kills.
Yeah, that's one way of saying both power plays were terrible.
I was being positive.
As Bosnia
I was being positive.
now has a chance here. Here is Bushman trying to dump this one in deep, but knocked out of the air. But now coming in here is Shabbat, trying to drop it but couldn't, and Albert, fresh out of the box, tried to get that up to Bosniev. Richardson, all the way across for Hines, through the middle for Mitchell, just barely gets a stick on it. It's enough to prevent the icing, as Holt will try to beat him. They both leave the puck as Albert backhands it forward to Bosniev. 1 minute left in the first as Wyrock now back to Bosniev. Another 2-on-1 opportunity here for the Rough Riders. Back to Wyrock, trying to get it across, but the diving play by Hans prevents that one. Another opportunity where the Rough Riders needed to get a shot but did not get one. Holt picking it up and rings it around here. 40 seconds left in the first. It does get out of the zone. And the Eagles will regroup here. Lish at the red line. Sends it in. Here's Albert. Now Shibaroff dumps it in deep. Hines certainly keeping an eye on Shibaroff. Lish getting in his face as well.
Everybody's keeping an eye on Shibaroff.
I think that's safe to say. When you have 40 goals on the air, it's going to be hard to forget you. He's got more goals than anyone on the Eagles has points.
Yeah.
Albert sends this one all the way down and on goal as the final seconds tick out of the first period. And again, a 0-0 game after one. The Rough Riders had a couple of moments of success there. The Eagles certainly did what they do with their possession game at times as well. We mentioned both teams had a power play. Neither one of them got anything going on it. And here we go into the second period. The Rough Riders have a period they can build off of.
Yeah, I think that the Rough Riders did a really good job of controlling the Eagles more than they have in the past. As we said, the junior Eagles are very fast. They have a lot of depth, but they weren't getting in a lot of shots. There was a lot of blocks by the Rough Riders, and there was a lot of times that a play couldn't even get together. So I think they had a really good period. Hopefully in the next period they can score early on and get a lead, much like they did in the last game that they played them.
And an opportunity where the Eagles normally pick up a lot of stuff on their power play. The Rough Riders did a great job of really never allowing them to get much going on it. And then the Rough Riders on their power play opportunity never really kept it in the zone at all. So we'll see if they can maybe build off of that, but at least so far in this first period, a good one here at the Sports Day. We'll be back in about 15 minutes to bring you the second period action between the Rough Riders and the Colorado Junior Eagles.